Jesus Christ, you people suck. Wow. Wolverine on it.
Back in the days when we played video games, it was hardcore for the nerdy and lazy. Now things have changed and all our video games are also for the casual and lady.
But that's okay, you know the score. We told you a million times before. Playing consoles, not just games, is in the past. And every week you listen to the best damn internet radio crew. It's the N4G podcast. It's the N4G podcast.
Alright, it's time. Another week. N4G Radio. This is episode 707. Palindrome time. Get one of those every 100 episodes. On the show this week, I have Anthony with me.
Yeah, it's one of those.
Well, Terrence was supposed to join. I don't know if he will. He's got the COVID. Got the
Just
vid.
want to note that error 707 means that a part or even all of the hard drive's memory cannot be erased.
I feel that. I've seen too many hard drive errors. Hard drives are like the most, just the things that break the most for me.
It's like the cheapest part to
Yeah.
replace on a computer, but I think it's also got one of the highest failure rates.
Oh yeah, that was exactly what happened to my PC just recently. My SSD died. So
Yeah.
we need to make better memory over time. Makes you worried about your consoles that have built-in hard drives,
Yep.
especially now that all your games have to go on them. So like, what happens when they die?
What happens when we die?
I don't want to know yet.
Throw me in the you throw me in the trash. The hard drives.
I mean, sure, put me in there. I'll just useless memory, you know. Anyway,
That's not dark.
Let's tell you this. This is how we do
useless
it.
memory. You're right. Correct. This whole podcast, useless memory.
I feel in the how many ever years now it's been. It's fucking Jesus. 2006, first one. I think. I can't remember. 20 years. This thing will be going on at some point.
Ugh. I'll be here for enough of it where everybody should feel ashamed.
I do. I feel ashamed on a daily basis, but that's just me. Anyway, let's talk about some video games, I guess.
I only have really one to talk about. Hey, I wrote a review for Ground Divers. It's good.
Diver.
It's $15, and if it was $1 more, I probably would have dropped the score a whole point. It's fine. I think the issue is, like I say in the review, it's fun. It is, but like, it is only what it is. Like, there's not much more to it. And I've talked about it before, and it's like, it's kind of a lot to go into detail about, but basically it's a real-time strategy game that you move a character around a grid by just kind of giving him the waypoints, and then he drills through stones. And there's only 7 levels, and so part of it is like, you know, can you do all these little missions within the level to get all the stars, and then there's a hard mode, and it's all fine and dandy, but like, I think it'd be better placed on a phone. It only makes sense on the Switch only, like it's only on the Switch, and it makes sense because you can bring it around as a portable, and it's something that you can play and finish a level in a very short amount of time. But you know, it's not going to be for everyone. I like it. I gave it an 8, and you know, I think the art style is what saves that game entirely. Overall, like if it wasn't so colorful, it probably would have been something that I played and then not gone back to. And it's like, you know, this very colorful design and its good gameplay loop kind of keeps me going. It's kind of like, Binding of Isaac, like, if it wasn't that very stylized design and it was just kind of a generic looking game, I don't think I would have put as much time into Binding of Isaac. And the reason why I use those is because they're both shorter experiences, and they have roguelite elements.
I forgot I
which is
tried that spin-off of Binding of Isaac a while back.
Legend of Bumbo.
That is not a Binding of Isaac game.
No.
That was weird.
It's literally just the character that you trade money to.
Yeah,
He
but
has
you
his own spin-off.
you shoot people. It's weird. I don't.
The other game I've been playing is Horizon Forbidden West, which is quickly shooting up to Game of the Year for me. And I'm not even that far in it. And that's how much I'm enjoying it. Brian said that it was like a lot of the futuristic science fiction portion of that game and not the modern time misery.
Mm-hmm.
My issue with the first game was that the two parts didn't blend very well. There was the portion of that game that was, hey, go and explore what's happened to the world, and I'm like, that is super fascinating. And then they'd be like, and now go help the tribal people. And you go, okay. And like, they're not as interesting. Some of it was with the political intrigue portion of it, but like, for the most part, I don't give a shit. You know, like, it just wasn't great, that portion of the game. And if they blended better, I would have been more impressed. And that's what they've done here. Like, they still have those two halves, but they don't feel like they're kind of deviating from each other to then kind of loop back in. That they're wholly intertwined, which makes far more sense, but it's different tribes, so, like, it makes sense that they would react differently, because the 4 or 5 that were in the original game didn't see the world the same way. So it does make sense that, like, these people would also have different relationships to the world. Like I said, I'm not very far. Like, I've gotten to, I don't know, I guess spoiler for the first game, Hades is still around, and I have confronted Hades again. I'm a little bit further past that section, but not by much. And there's just some really neat stuff. What I think is the most impressive part is that they learned from Breath of the Wild, which is funny because the first game came out around the same time as Breath of the Wild.
That means Horizon, whatever 3 is gonna learn from Elden Ring.
Yeah, maybe. I hope not. But this game I find is tough enough as it is. It really is leading you into being more stealthy in this game, because head-on combat just eats apart your health. Like, oh my god. Some of these robots are more vicious than anything in the first game. In the first game, there's a lot of projectile. Like, I rather fight more of the giant T-Rex things from the first game than ever fight, like, some of these more basic enemies. Like, they just do not like you. The big moose or deer or whatever they're fucking supposed to be with the antlers.
Yeah, like the ones.
They're assholes.
Yeah, the cattle.
They're not easy to fight. They're not easy to fight at all. They'll run away. That's the only benefit to them. Like, they will run away to self-preserve, unlike other things. Just what? Wow, they're bastards in this game. But man, it just every I hate to be like this, but everything that I wanted fixed is here. And you know what? They explain away, because there's a couple months time between the first game and this one. They explain away why she doesn't have equipment. Like, a character just says, it looks like you're traveling light these days. And she's like, yeah, I ran into some troubles. Like, oh, that's all I needed. It was just a little bit of an explanation. You know? yeah, fuck, man. Like, I love this game. Like, I like the first game a lot. But they clearly also learned from Death Stranding that worked on the same engine, right? So the scanning tool that like shows you the environment and then like puts X's where you shouldn't walk or whatever, or just environment that's not interactable. But then like climbing, it highlights everything in yellow, and I'm like, that's the thing that you could do in Death Stranding, where you could see the environment and scan it, and it would tell you like, yeah, this is not where you want to walk in the water because you will be swept off your feet. And I don't know, just like all these little things that it learned from, and like just some of the world design in this game is it's like this is the perfect sequel, which is not something you can say about all sequels, because they don't always fix and improve upon everything. So yeah, I want to be playing it right now, to be honest with you. That's kind of how I feel. I'm like, this fucking podcast is cutting into my time. But yeah, I've been addicted to that. I just like, and I traded in Metroid Dread for this, and it's totally worth it. I'm having way more fun with this game than I did ever Metroid Dread. So, yeah. And that's it for me. I haven't played much this week. I've been pouring into Horizon, and when I say, like, I'm trying to do everything except for, like, the hunting missions, which I never liked in the first game, and the board game thing, which is neat. But I'm like, I'm going to grab some more pieces before I start jumping into these board games. So there's a lot to this game. Like, it looks like it learned from, like, The Witcher and Breath of the Wild and Death Stranding and all the other games. It's just like, yeah, we're going to make something that's thick. Is less of a standard Ubisoft open world like the first game was. And this is going to be more freeform. You figure it out.
The weird thing about the Horizon games that always threw me off, as far as the world is concerned, is like when I play a game like The Witcher or I play a game like Red Dead, a big open world game, it always feels like a flat open world. Horizon's maps always feel like they're like in a canyon. I don't know if that makes sense. Like when you look at the map.
Yeah, I mean it is like literally you're in between the.
But there's mountains in the canyon you're in, which is weird. Like that's
I mean,
a weird.
They set it in that sort of area. But yeah, like you know, and I think that's part of the reason why Kojima picked that engine for Death Stranding. Right?
But even
like,
Death Stranding didn't feel like it was in a canyon.
I suppose. I mean, not as much as this game, but. Yeah, I did feel like it was in a canyon because you do climb up. It just didn't feel like the canyons were barriers as much, or the mountains were barriers as much in Death Stranding because you could climb up most fucking things.
Yeah.
But you were like those were the boundaries in Death Stranding, that or water.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just a weird feeling I get about the Horizon games, like the open world.
Well, it's open world games. Here's your boundaries. It's either mountains. Or water.
I think I prefer water. I don't know why.
I don't know about that. I mean, I don't know about that for me. Like, they both are, like, obvious, but I'd rather be told not to climb than be like, yeah, you can just, you know, keep going on the water or whatever. Like,
maybe it's because
a mountain on foot seems like, yeah, I can't get in there. But then, like, when you have boats on water, I'm like, well, why am I being stuck here?
Just put sharks at the edge.
Yeah. Then there's Breath of the Wild. It's like, yeah, half of this map is cut off from this gigantic crater that there's no goddamn way you'll ever cross, and the other part is water. The east side is water, and then around the map on the northwest and south side, it's just this gigantic hole you can't cross to the rest of the land. I tried flying to it.
I feel like every time somebody says Breath of the Wild, I'm like, I really want to replay that game.
Yeah, just then you go, oh wow, that's a lot of time.
Yeah, no, that's a big fucking video game.
Yeah, I just know that like the best border that I've ever seen in an open world video game is still Saints Row 2, a game I'm also excited for. Is Saints Row, because it looks like it's a return to form of 2 and 3 rather than 4, and I'm assuming it's gonna play. It's gonna probably play like 3, but then have the humor of 2, which is what I'd prefer. But in Saints Row 2, you could drive out a certain distance, and if you followed signs, you got to a giant Easter bunny that like would raise out of the water.
And Splashdown there was an octopus if you went off the track, and it would grab you and throw you back.
Huh.
That game
I'm
was
gonna look
great.
that up. With giant squid.
Yeah,
Ooh.
it like the tentacle grabs you and throws you back to the track. It's pretty cool.
I don't think I've ever played Splashdown.
The first one's great. The second one tried to be something different. That's my fault. I apologize. I know I've told that story on the show 1,000 times.
Wow, it just launches you. Holy shit.
Yeah, it like just. Alright. Anything else?
Nah, that's it, man. Fuck. You know that feeling when you get addicted to something and it's like all you want to do.
Yeah, I wish I had that right now. Like, I've played a couple good
Yep.
games, but nothing has like wrapped me.
Painful when it's painful when it's not there. So.
Well, I will roll through these indie games real quick, and then I have a couple other titles to talk about. So, start off with Princess Loot Pixel Again ×2.
This sounds like not your game at all.
I mean, it's pretty much what you think it is, like a little roguelike go through.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what it is. It plays good. It's fine. It's just not for me. Seduction Amongst Fate, the game I kept laughing about for the last 2 weeks. That is a weird game. That is a 2D side-scroller. It starts off with your dad, like, leaving you at a monastery and then leaving. And then you grow up and you're raised by the monks. And then you start having these dreams about a woman, and the monk tells you to pray on it, and it's a side-scrolling adventure game where you can pray to make the ghosts go away.
Alright.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a weird game. Arcade.
Yeah, I mean, being told to pray anything away never works. Just heads up, everybody.
I just wish the hammer song would play when you did it. I got to pray just to make it today.
I'm not familiar with that one, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, that was after
There's two MC Hammer songs I like, and both of them are off the... Well, like, being relative. There's 2 MC Hammer songs I know, and they're both off the same album.
Yeah, the first album, right?
Yep.
You don't know Too Legit?
No, I don't like Too Legit. It's... I can't believe I'm saying it. It's, of course, Can't Touch This, which
sure,
unfortunately just lives in everybody's mind rent-free. And She's Soft and Wet.
Wow, okay, so back in that day. Gotcha.
Hey, look, if you sample a good Prince song,
I mean,
might like it a bit more.
Let's be fair, Prince's songs weren't exactly non-horny. So.
No, that song, fucking... Those lyrics are great, but Jesus Christ, that is full heads up. And that's from Prince's first album, For You, too. I love that song, and so when you sample it, maybe I'm more inclined to like that song. And boy, Hammer's just like, fuck it, we're even using the chorus.
Eventually he got tired of doing all that, and he became hardcore. Dropped the MC and just called himself Hammer.
I mean, he's one of the more legit guys, because as much as everybody's like, well, he's not a gangster. Yeah, but he hired everybody from the neighborhood that he lived in, and they were.
You might say he was too legit to quit.
The people around him were too legit to quit. He could have quit at any time.
True. Alright, the next game I played is the next game from Ilphonic, which is Arcade-ageddon, and my son walked in while I was playing it. He's like, "Are you playing Fortnite?" Because my son's like obsessed with Fortnite, but I don't let him play it because I don't let him play online with other people because they're terrible.
Of course.
And I was like, no, this is not Fortnite. He's like, this looks like Fortnite. I'm like, you're not wrong.
Who's Ilphonic?
Did they work on the Predator game? And I thought they worked on Friday the 13th, but that's a different team.
I'm looking it up right now. Ilphonic.
I know they worked on the Predator game.
Oh, no. Why? Okay, so yeah, they Predator Hunting Grounds is them. Oh, no. Yeah, okay, so they worked on Evolve. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, right. They worked on Evolve. They worked on a game called Armored Warfare. Don't know it. They worked on, they've worked on Star Citizen.
I mean, who hasn't?
Yeah, Friday the 13th is them.
Okay. Well, it's also them and Gun. Gun also works, because Gun is working on Texas Chainsaw Massacre now, and they worked on Friday the 13th.
Okay, well, they worked on a game called Dead Alliance.
Not Dead Alliance. I know that game.
Predator Hunting Grounds.
Yeah, I played that.
Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed.
That's the new game.
Yeah, and then I see Arcade Again, which is literally like we have asked people what they like, and he just said Fortnite, so we made Fortnite.
That's pretty much what it is.
Enough of following trends. Good God, how many fucking times do I have to say it?
All right. I tried Severed Steel, the final version. I still don't like it. I think it's bad. It's just not like the movement in it is neat, but it's just not fun to do. Especially when you're trying to do combat. Maybe it's better with a mouse and keyboard, but with a controller, I don't find it fun. So, the Dungeon Slime collection is the Rattlelake Jam this week. It's Dungeon Slime 1 and 2, I think is what it's called, and it's essentially a puzzle game where you have a cube of slime, and you've got to slap it against walls in order to get it through like different spaces. So you have to think logically.
You gotta slap my slime, guys.
Yeah, you've got to slap it till it's in the proper shape to go through the hole. This keeps getting better by the minute.
I kind of like that concept.
Yeah.
That it's dumb. But I like that concept.
I was 10 levels in before I realized, I don't need to keep playing this. Yeah. So it's actually not bad. I thought it was fun. Hazel Sky is a third-person. It feels narrative-driven, but there's a lot of puzzle solving. You play this boy who's like,
boy.
What am I trying to say? So like his dad like left him. I can't tell by the story, but like he's walking through this area, and you got to build this plane and fly it. That's like the first mission. It's actually not bad. There's a very Last of Us sequence at the beginning where you find some guitar notes.
Yeah, okay, I played this.
Yeah,
demo.
like this game's not bad.
But you start in like a tower, right?
Yeah, and you climb up and you grab the pieces for the plane, and yeah.
It seemed interesting. The demo ended as I took off, so I never got to play more than that. But yeah, it was not. That wasn't bad. Yeah, it was a weird sort of experience. It kind of was different than a bunch of stuff. Like I didn't know where it was going. But yeah, I remember playing that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually not bad. As
soon as you said building a plane, I went, oh shit, I did play this.
Like use the staple gun to put the thing on the. Yeah, that game's all right. I like the game. The highlight this week though, and I gotta recommend everybody go play this game. I think there's a demo out there, but Hell Pie. Hell Pie is a game where you play this character who's like an accountant in hell. And Satan calls you on the phone and he's like, hey, I want you to give me a pie. That's
a 3D platformer.
From the chef. Yeah, it's a 3D platformer. You eventually get a cherub that attaches to your horn.
With a chain?
With a chain, yeah. You have to feed it.
You swing it like a mace?
You actually use it to like swing, so like you get upgrades. So the part where I'm at, I just got the cherub, and the first ability I unlock, because when you collect these things, you unlock abilities for the cherub. The first one you get is that he can attach to like the air, and you can use him to swing for platforming.
I'm actually looking at it. You can change costumes.
Yeah, so there's like an outfit store, and they call it the place where you can get your sexy outfits, and there's like a bondage outfit in the store.
There's one where like you have like an old school like mustache on and stuff.
Yeah.
What a weird little game this looks
game,
like.
and it plays really good. It's a really solid platformer. I highly recommend it, as long as you're not... So, just to give you kind of an example of the humor that's in this game, so like there's things in... Because you're kind of like in an office cubicle area.
I'm looking at the upgrade screen right now, and the sexy pose the cherub has, where
Yes.
his butt cheeks face you.
So, like, there's things you can interact with, like water coolers and copy machines, and when you press the button on the copy machine, it's just a bunch of copies of somebody drawing a dick. So, that's the kind of humor this game is delivering for you.
All right.
So, I think it's good. I'm gonna go back and play it some more. I actually might play through it.
The basic setup reminded me of a comic I read recently called The Many Deaths of Layla Starr, where the child that's going to create immortality is born, so they fire the god of death. And the god of death is like, I'm going to kill this child. And it ends up being a very sweet story at the end of it, but like, what a weird concept of like this whole bureaucracy of the afterlife.
Yeah, that's kind of what this is, because like you're literally like at a desk working when he calls you and asks you to go
I
get
like
the pie.
that concept.
Yep, it's a cool game. So I'm actually enjoying that one. I finally wrote my review of Bright Memory Infinite. I think I don't remember if I could talk about it last week. I might have been able to.
I think you talked about it.
It's
I
good.
remember.
I think you have to understand what it is. So I wrote my review after I finished it this week. That game is less than 3 hours.
Wait,
like-
wasn't like the original?
Yeah, the original
Demo?
is super short, and I didn't like the original. Like, I didn't feel like the combat was refined. It didn't feel good. This one, it does. It definitely feels a lot better. But I was kind of just shocked at how short it was. I was like, oh, it's over?
Yeah, no shit.
But it's only $20, so, it's fine.
I mean, I got it for free because I bought the original demo thing.
It's better than the
on
demo
PC.
original, by far.
So
So
I did
it's-
like that concept, though. They're like, you're going to get the full thing if you buy it now from us. Like, we're not going to screw you on that. I'm like, that's appreciative.
Yeah, it's a good game. It's a solid game. I think I gave it 7.5. I enjoyed it. They sent me a code for the $100 version of Multiverses. So basically, I have the ability to unlock
Right.
all of the characters.
Okay, then.
That game
Yeah,
is very good.
Do you want to get me another? I'm kidding. I'm not going to be putting time into it.
It's really good, though. Like that.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
LeBron being a playable character.
You're ruining the news.
What a weird fucking... Apparently Warner Brothers owns him now.
So the thing about this game is like you see it and you're like, oh, it's this shit off company trying to make a Smash clone. Like when you play it, you're like, okay, they really put time into this and it plays fantastic. Like it's really fun. The combat feels good. It's deep. Like there's depth to it. Like there's things you can do. There are certain characters that have certain like moves that are very unique, and it feels really good. Like the game, it's really well done. And who can not want to play as Shaggy versus Batman? I mean, come on.
Like Zoinks!
Exactly. And his down attack move is he pulls a sandwich out of the ground. You can throw to people. I mean, come on. That game's pretty good.
Can you ever dance? You can't do a Shaggy. I was going to say, can you ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight?
Oh, Jesus.
Can't do a Shaggy impression. Like, how do you keep that fucking voice going? Like the breaking fucking...
Smoke.
I'm just going to end up like the kid from The Simpsons. Like, hey, Mr. Simpson.
Smoke a lot of weed. Eat a lot of dog treats. Should be able to do it. I'm still working through the extras in Power Wash Simulator. Oh, man.
I still have to play that.
Game is so good.
As part of Humble Choice, I got Drew's favorite game.
Lawnmower?
Yeah.
Yeah. That game's pretty good, too.
I mean, it's all that basic, like, satisfaction, like, and some people are like, well, when you just mow the real grass. I'm like, yeah, you do that in the heat.
I just
Get the
did.
fuck outta
It
here.
sucks.
Yucks, yeah. Also, I don't have as nice of a fucking lawnmower as I would in those games.
Oh yeah, I can get the sweet ass lawnmower in those games. All right. I played the fucking cat game, Stray. I don't get it. Why is everybody all up in this game's shit? I mean, it's literally you just play a cat and you do cat shit. Like you knock over paint cans. There's a dedicated meow button.
Somebody's modded in CJ from Grand Theft Auto
That's pretty
San
good.
Andreas to play as. So I'm like, all right, whatever.
You literally can just scratch carpet.
Dude,
You can take a nap.
well, I don't remember what the game was called. Unfortunately, I can't. He plays no, it's in France electric game. Can't remember what the fucking game. The Spirit and the Mouse is a similar sort of concept. I played the demo of that, talked about it not too long ago. But like, it was a 3D platformer still, and you met things like little like electric ghosts and stuff, and I was like, that's fun. I like that. But like, I'm not. What is the point of Stray? I legitimately don't know. Like,
It's a puzzle game where you're, from what I could tell, I only played through like the first couple areas. You're just a cat, and then you run into these robot people, and you solve puzzles. Like, I don't know what else there is to it.
I guess the puzzle solving would be interesting. I don't know. I have not had any interest in this game. Like,
I wouldn't have played it
think
if it wasn't in my PlayStation PP.
I introduced that into the world, and I wish I could go back in time and kill it.
I mean,
Like,
but
I can't guarantee it would have stopped it from existing at all. But like, wow.
I mean, what else are you gonna call it? You gonna say PlayStation Plus? But there's like 3 tiers, so
Plus premium. I fucking
That
literally
sounds
anything
stupid.
that just make me want to suck start a shotgun. Like every time you say PlayStation PP, I'm like, that's my fault right there. Like,
you know what? It's okay. I
Is
enjoy
it-
it.
I know I put Stray on my Steam wishlist, but that was a while back. I don't remember what hooked me about that. It definitely wasn't that it was playing as a cat. It was like something that was written about it. Maybe it was that it was mentioned doing puzzles or whatever.
I mean, you do puzzles like you can.
Doo-doo.
Doo-doo.
It also, can I just say, this game visually reminds me of Biomutant. Not exactly in content, but like,
Dude, if I
it's
was
a little
doing
bit more
kung
built
fu
in.
as this cat, I'd be having a lot more fun.
Yeah, but like, yeah, you know what I mean though. Like, you're a smaller creature in a world that had humans in it at one point,
Yeah.
and they had more technology, and you got a little robot thing that talks to you, and blah 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 blah.
Yeah, it becomes like your leash at one point. You get a little robot. I don't know, this game ain't for me. If you love it, that's great. I just don't understand the obsession with the game. Like, I don't get it. So, and I like cats. That's the weird part. Like, I have 2. So,
I don't mind cats. I legitimately don't understand the fascination. It's not a complaint. Like, again, there was something that was written about this game that made me go, I'm interested in that. Maybe it said it's open world or some shit. I don't know.
it's really not. It's not long either. It's only like 5 hours. So,
They want like $30
yeah, it's $30.
for this, and I'm like, I can't justify that in any
No,
right mind.
I couldn't pay $30 for this. No way. That's why I was glad it was in my PP.
But like, look, I'm not gonna shit on people for liking it.
No,
I
if
don't-
you like it,
I
that's
don't
great.
I have not played it at all, so I don't. I don't know. Like, this is definitely not burb, whatever it's called, material. Like, that never looked good.
No.
Visually, this looks fascinating. Maybe there's a good story behind it. I honestly don't know. Maybe people just really want to play as a cat.
Hey,
I know cat lateral damage. God,
yeah, but that was
Please.
stupid. Like, this game's trying to be serious. The cat lateral damage was stupid. It
like
was-
in a good way.
Yeah, it was meant to be stupid.
Yeah.
All right. I've been playing the new Capcom Arcade Stadium 2, which I don't understand why is a sequel.
It doesn't hook up to the first game at all?
No, it's two separate executables, which is weird. Like, why are not all the games in one? Because it's exactly the same layout and concept. It's there. You see the arcade machines. You kind of skim through them. They've got the same options. It's even got the same DLC, the invincibility and the backgrounds and the music. Like, it's all exactly the same.
But who is it?
I don't.
What? I don't know.
I mean, the games are excellent. Like being able to play, was it Black Tiger and the Mega Man Power Battle games, and like 3 or 4 of the games from the Fighting Collection are in here.
Tiger.
Black Tiger.
Yeah. Oh, that's all. Okay. Just a side note. I don't think it'll be. So, somebody like GameSpot or somebody confirmed that, confirmed for Arkham Knights or whatever it was called. Gotham Knights, that Batman is in fact dead. And I was at work when I read that, and all I could think of was, Batman is dead.
Is it still in the chat? I could play it for the...
No, you can't. Batman is dead.
I bet I can find
it.
I bet I can find Batman's dead. Here it is.
So
Here it
yeah,
is.
Tiger.
Batman is dead. Batman is dead. Batman is dead.
Okay, I played it like 3 times.
Or yourself only.
No. It picks up on the audio on my end.
Oh, well, I don't hear it.
No, you don't hear it, but the people listening will hear
Batman is dead. Yeah, so that was going through my head at work on Friday. Batman is dead.
You're welcome for that.
I'm like, just sitting there. And so, yeah, every time I hear Tiger, I go, Tiger. And Cumbersome, we all know. I'm sorry. It's been a while.
Yeah, well...
It just makes me instantly go, it's been a while!
It's been a while! I think that's everybody on the planet. They say it's been a while.
Yeah. So, yeah, sorry, when you heard it said Tiger, Black Tiger, I had to break in. But yeah, then the fucking Batman, yeah.
I really wish the Capcom...
We're just a clump of fucking nonsense memes, every single one of us on the planet. We all have our inner jokes, and they're dumb, and we drive them into the ground, turn that dead horse into glue. Ugh.
That's fine. Yeah, I wish this was one executable, because like now, I would like to have them all in one place. I don't understand why they separated it, truly.
Do they sell them piecemeal?
All the games are piecemeal in both.
Oh, that doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah, so like when I downloaded it, they gave me the code for everything. So, like, I literally had to download, like, 30 more things for Part 2. It's weird, man. DLC of individual things is a pain in the ass. The 2 biggest offenders to this are Dead or Alive, with all the fucking costumes, and Rock Band. Like, Rock Band... Although
There's
Rock
another
Band,
one, by the way. Costumes.
Goddamn costumes.
Well, Rock Band at least makes sense.
Yeah, because each one is an individual like thing, but like
And
Dead or Alive, the
pretty good
costumes have to be in the game.
They're pretty good at also putting those like you buy Dead or Alive costumes. They don't move into the next Dead or Alive game.
No.
The Rock Band stuff, they were at least did a pretty good job of making sure all that stuff worked in 2, worked in 3, etc.
I'm really disappointed about Rock Band because I have like 460 songs in my library, and I just realized my guitar won't sync anymore. Like when I try to do the latency thing, it won't finish. So, and you can't buy one.
No.
Like I'm just screwed at this point. Like I have this thing on my Xbox that just is useless now, and like I've tweeted at Rock Band several times. They will not answer any questions about the guitars. It sucks, man.
They honestly just say we're not answering any questions about guitars?
They've responded to me whenever I've
respond.
tweeted about anything else, but they never respond when I tweet about the guitar. And I've never seen a mention on their Twitter feed, like, ever.
I was like, damn, that's ballsy if they're just like, nah, we're not answering questions about those anymore. They just outright say it. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, it sucks, man, because like the worst part is like, how have they not figured this out considering they're still putting out DLC?
Yeah.
Like, you realize your game is useless without this peripheral, right?
Yeah.
So, and you would think they would want me to fix it because I literally, the reason I discovered it is because I bought the new Coheed song because they released it in Rock Band, and I spent money, and now I can't use it. I have never played the song that I bought.
That blows.
Yeah, because I tried to sync my guitar, and like I would do the latency test within the game, and it would get all the way to the very end, and just it would fail every time.
Wow.
I'm like, cool. So I can't even. So I tried to play it without the latency adjustment, and it's broken. So I'm like, well, I can't even play this now. So
I have all the DLC for Soul Calibur 5.
Yeah, I do too. You know how hard it is to find on that Xbox store?
You know how hard it is to find on PlayStation 3?
Dude, the PlayStation 3 store is
win.
terrible.
I win. Fucking download them five at a time or 10 at a time. Piece of shit.
Dude.
Fuck the PlayStation Store. It's not even good on PlayStation 4 anymore. We've gone so far. It's just a piece of shit in general. Ugh.
I don't want to hear anybody complain about going through their list of stuff that they have to download because I don't think most people have as much crap as I do.
No,
like
you're
review
correct.
codes. So like me digging through the Xbox or the PlayStation Store, the old ones, nightmare fuel.
I don't know, man. My PlayStation one is pretty bad because like I said, all of the DLC for Soul Calibur 5 alone is like over 100 pieces.
I have 3 pages of core episodes. Remember those?
No, I
It was
do
like
not, 'cause I didn't download that shit.
Yeah, I did. I downloaded all that shit. You know what the thing I discovered I hate the most about the PlayStation Store, going back to it, is
Everything.
download the whole game and the unlock code. You remember the unlock code? Yeah.
You download the demo.
Yep.
And then you get the unlock code, so it's a demo, and then it's like full game unlock.
Yep.
Ah, cool.
Yeah, that shit.
How about you just download the fucking game?
There's so much bad about. You know what the worst part about 360 is like half the time the internet on that thing sucks. So like the list will time out, and it puts you all the way back at the top. And the 360 has a bunch of stuff that says no description available, so you have to click into it because it's been delisted. You don't know what it is. God, those stores suck.
Yeah.
All right, last game I just started. I just got it on Friday, of course, because we always get these games late. But I'm playing Live a Live, and I like what I'm playing of that so far.
It's a game I'll inevitably buy before the year is over.
I'm excited to play more of this. I like that you can play any of the
Any part.
8 chapters or whatever whenever you want and just kind of go back and forth. I started with the prehistoric one because I felt like that one should be the first one.
Yeah, I understand that logic.
Yeah, I don't know if it is or it should be, but
I don't think there's actually I think it all comes together. I'm not too familiar with that game, but it's like Octopath Traveler in that same setup, right? Like Octopath is clearly inspired by.
I like this game, what I've played of it so far. Like, the combat system is pretty standard, turn-based JRPG fare. I like the added voiceovers, although I'm playing the prehistoric ones.
The dinosaurs are dead.
The dinosaurs are dead. They're dead. They're fucking dead.
I'm like going into like weird computer, just repeating the same lines over and over again.
I've been watching Westworld, so your thing is malfunctioning, I guess.
I can't remember what Hades says. He says something like a memory core not complete or disintegrated. That's what it was. The word he kept repeating was disintegrated.
Oh, that checks. That tracks. But no, that's it. I'm still playing Overwatch, but other than that, it's the same shit.
Still the original Overwatch, though, right?
Yeah, the beta ended on Monday, so I no longer have access to Overwatch 2.
as much as that game fucking annoys me because of how much I have to hear about it, I do hope it's good. Like, you know,
I enjoyed the beta, but I
benefits
can't. Yeah, I can't give it a good run until I can actually play normally. Because right now, it literally I can only play one role if I don't want to wait 15 minutes, and I'm not going to wait 15 minutes if I'm not playing a competitive game. Like, there's just no point in that. And of course I've been toying around with old games.
Got any standouts?
Nothing stood out this week. I did get CDI up and going, and I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know why either. You gotta play Hotel Mario.
I think I booted up and watched the intro to Wand of Gamelon, and then played like 2 seconds of it. And I was like, oh yeah, you gotta press up to jump. Oh
Somebody
no!
made some crazy bastard did a like PC port of that.
Why?
No, like come on, is it Wand of Gamelon remastered? Yeah. So some guy, some crazy bastard. Oh, he did Faces of Evil and Wand of Gamelon.
I mean, you can't do one without the other, right?
Sure. But if I'm correct, like he went in and fixed things. Like, obviously you can only do so much. Dopley has reimagined and remade those two Lost Zelda games for Windows and Linux. Remakes are using original assets available for free download. The remakes of the game was made because he wanted to learn how to use Game Maker, so that's what he did. But like, if I'm correct, like he fixed the jumping, like he fixed a bunch of shit in it to the point where it's actually playable to some extent.
Can you pick up rupees without having to stab them? That's the big question.
I will find out.
That's the kicker right there. Like, if you can just pick up rupees without having to stab them, that's a big improvement.
I do not know.
Yeah, that would be the question. That's like asking the question about the Simon's Quest Redux.
Remastered. Make sure to turn on remaster modes instead. Otherwise, it's more or less just plays like the CDI versions. Main difference is slightly better / more streamlined controls. The CDI version, you have to swipe your sword to pick up rupees or other items. Remaster mode, you can pick them up just by walking up to them.
Nice. That's almost worth checking out.
Yeah, like, I remember seeing this when it released and going, that's impressive. I don't know why. I have zero idea why the fuck you would do that, but okay. Part of me wants that new Sega Genesis.
Oh yeah, we talked about that last week. The Mini.
I just don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know why either, because I have all of those games. I don't need it.
I can just emulate them. Why? But sad part is, I'll probably do it. I like Sega too much.
I think I summed it up perfectly in my tweet. I said I don't need this, but I sure want it.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. All right, so we're going to look at new releases for the week. Let's start with Xbox.
Nothing. All right, moving on.
Yes. Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5, Multiverses Beta, Open Beta this time, so you can go check it out, is out on 26th. We have Arsonist Heaven, Path of Titans, the Beta, and Loot Light. Whatever Loot Light is.
How do you spell light?
Lite. It's all one word, Loot Light.
There it is, everybody. The quintessential, the Ken ain't playing that shit.
Nice.
Loot Light, I knew this was going to happen, is a roguelike arcade game which you can embody different heroes to try to recover their stolen treasures through a huge area full of secrets, hidden paths, and all kinds of weapons that'll make your playthrough easier. It looks like another twin-stick shooter roguelite.
I think my favorite thing about roguelikes is like the fact that the whole point of the game is to make the game more fun by doing dumb shit. Like, go through the game, unlock this ability so you can make the game more fun. Well, just make the game more fun up front.
It works. One of the best mechanics of, like, one of the best versions, I should say, of that though is like Rogue Legacy, right? So
Hey, that's
where
a
it's
good
like
game.
you actually watch a family grow, and it makes a little bit more sense because everybody's pouring money into it, and yeah, but
All right.
you're right. You're not wrong. Unfortunately, I can't fight that statement.
Oh shit. All right. PlayStation 4, Xbox One, mostly a lot of the same stuff, but we also have Mozart Requiem, Story of Seasons, Pioneers of Olive Town, The Sims 4, High School Years, Digimon Survive, and RimWorld Console Edition.
Digimon Survive looked interesting.
The big thing about that one, I think, is that it's coming to Xbox, and there hasn't been a Digimon game on
It's
Xbox.
a weird
forever.
real-time or a turn-based strategy game.
Oh,
So I'm like,
nah.
yeah, it's got. But look at this art style. Like, tell me this is a terrible. But like, look at this screenshot and don't tell me that doesn't look great. Like the drawn like sprites.
Dude, if that was an isometric RPG, I'd play the shit out of that.
But I don't know. I like Digimon. I've always liked their designs a bit more than Pokemon.
Digimon was the GoBots of Pokemon. Alright,
yeah, I guess that's
it
not
kinda
inaccurate.
was.
Yeah, like I have interest in this game, but it's just I was kind of disappointed that it was a turn-based strategy game.
Hey,
Oh, hold on.
just wait for a while and it'll be on Game Pass. It's Bandai Namco, so...
That's true. I have to show you this one. Look at the slime creatures. Oh no, they're in that picture beforehand. Yeah, the slime creatures are my favorite. One of my favorite Digimon, Numemon.
I mean, that thing looks like
It's just a big tongue and eyeballs. It looks like
Yeah.
a slug.
jacked up on some caffeine or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah, don't hit your slug's caffeine, people.
On Xbox, we're also getting Noel the Mortal Fate, 80s Overdrive, and I think
80s Overdrive is a good game.
that looks like a Outrun or something.
It is. I have it on 3DS. I've talked about this before. I bought it on 3DS, so I actually have 3D on it.
Ooh.
It is Outrun essentially. You race against other people. And what's neat is that like you have to keep kind of doing races to get money, and you can upgrade your car. So there's like better steering, better bumpers, better engine. You can buy nitrous. Like it's a pretty good fucking game. There's different environments that you drive through, and you have this whole like world map that you show. And yeah, I liked that game. Oh, this might even be very different because it's got a different map than I remember.
I don't know.
But anyways, it was a good game. It was a good 3DS game, so I'm assuming it's still going to be good on consoles.
Well, I'm gonna play it for show. All right, Nintendo Switch. Let's do this. My Cute Unicorns Coloring Book, Artsy Pixel, Solitaire Master Versus, Gamma Boy Zero Origins. I'm gonna warn you right up front. I'm gonna butcher a bunch of these names because there's a bunch of games on here. I have no fucking clue how to pronounce this. Starting
Pronounce
with
Gaiaris.
Jigoku Unko Toripuru.
I
butchered that, I'm sure.
can you send that name to me so I can look up what the fuck that is even?
Hold on. Can I copy this? I think I can copy this. Put it in. There we go.
Wow, Jigoku Unku Toripuru.
That's about as good as I did.
That's
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
our character. Okay, hold on. What the fuck am I looking at? You're playing as a shit.
Like literal.
Oh my good god! You are playing as a pile of poo with like either arms or I think they're arms. I think he's running on his arms. It looks terrible. Our character has a tantrum after eating spicy Adana kebab. He then finds himself in hell for some unknown reason. That's the description on Steam. Features: 2D platform game. There are 3 characters available. Oof.
Okay. Well, there's your first weird Switch game. Let's keep moving
Piece
on.
of shit. Accurately, also the character's a piece of shit.
Train
All
Valley Console Edition. Azure Striker
Alright.
Gunvolt 3.
Yes.
Captain Velvet Meteor, The Jump Plus Dimensions.
Captain Velvet Meteor, The Jump Dimensions. I'm looking that one up right now. It does it not Captain Velvet. Let's see here.
Captain Velvet
Whoa,
Meteor.
not what the fuck am I looking at?
I don't know.
You're okay. It looks like a. I'm kind of dumbfounded. Like, this is not what I was expecting at all.
Looks
I
like
guess
a
it's
kids' TV
turn-based-
show.
Yeah, but that's the gameplay right there.
Oh, whoa, that looks like SimCity.
Yeah, but I think it's like a turn-based strategy game.
Huh. The artwork looks like
Um,
like a kid's cartoon. Weird. Okay.
What a very odd. It takes part in strategic battles that include puzzle and stealth elements. Use signature attacks of jump plus companions through power and assist combos to unleash massive damage on hordes of enemies. You're good strategic with abilities to inflict status effects or knock enemies aside to help control the battlefield.
Battlefield.
Huh.
All right.
It doesn't look terrible. I didn't know what the hell Captain Velvet was going to be. And I don't know. Kind of neat artwork. I'm impressed.
All right. The next game is Hexseed Casus. Japanese escape games, The Hospital. All right. I'm gonna butcher this.
They're pumping those out, eh?
Yeah. I'm gonna butcher this next one. Kumaju Ramilia Scarlet Symphony. There's Loot Light again. I'm gonna look up Kumaju.
I'm looking at.
Oh,
This is
yeah.
Did you look at Scarlet Symphony?
Yeah, this is looks like
Castlevania.
yeah, Castlevania.
Which makes sense because I'm pretty sure Kumajo is a parody of the Japanese title for Castlevania.
Oh well. But this one's got like little girls.
Well, it's a Toho game.
Yeah.
Toho Project fan game, yeah.
Lord Winklebottom Investigates. Puzzle.
I have to. You can't.
It's probably like what am I trying to think of? Like a investigative, like
What the fuck is this? You're fucking Lord Winklebottom is a giraffe.
oh, I remember seeing
Oh.
this now.
All characters are animals.
Okay.
I kind of love the design. It's dumb. There's a seagull that has like a sailor's outfit on, but they're not like cartoony. They're kind of realistic looking, and then they're just dressed.
Dude, the screenshot with the frog and the cat with the vests, that's where it's at. Okay. Puzzletronics Digital Infinite. Romeo to the Cracked Mars.
Okay, hold on.
Romeo? It's gotta be a cat game, right?
Yeah, and what was the one before that?
That was just a puzzle game, right? Puzzletronics
Yeah, but-
Digital Infinite?
And I just want to know what Puzzletronics Digital Infinite. I know, but that might interest me on a personal level. Romeo. Okay, Romeo.
I don't even know
Romeo
what
is
I'm
like
looking
one of
at
those-
here.
Yeah, you flip the panels around to make it so you can get to the end of the stage. The
Oh,
puzzle game.
puzzle game.
Interesting.
Okay. Strange Horticulture. Uoni.
All right.
Avenging Spirit. Digimon Survive, also coming to Switch. Madison, which is that horror game. There's a game just called Squish.
All right.
Squish. Super Panda 2. Apparently there was a Super Panda. The Turrican Anthology Volume 1.
Oh, is it? Look at my favorite publisher finally putting these things out after they fleece people for physical fucking products, you fucking assholes.
And holy shit, I didn't realize this. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is out on Friday. I did not
Wow.
know that was so soon. Huh. Okay. Alright. We'll move to the news. Since you already spoiled it, LeBron James is coming to Multiverses, but And that's this week during the open beta. He's coming.
It's weird, but okay.
Also, in Season 1, Rick and Morty has been confirmed.
Oh, jeez, Rick, I don't want to be in a fighting game. Shut up, Marty. Yeah, great. Just fucking, the whole gameplay is just going to be fucking Justin Roiland going off. Oh my god, we're in a fighting game. I can't believe it. We're doing the thing. We're doing the fighting. Yay.
I wonder if it'll be censored or not.
Every time. I appreciate that he can vamp that much. It's just there's a level where it stops being funny and wraps back around into being funny a little bit later.
It's like that. It's like that scene in South Park where the kids were laughing about something, and Chef's like, "All right, it's not funny anymore," and they keep laughing. He's like, "Okay, it's funny again."
Yeah. Yes. I do want to play that game that where the guns are Justin.
Oh, dude, I'm totally gonna play, and it's on Game Pass, so absolutely.
It's gonna be so annoying.
Hey, Ubisoft!
I love it.
Ubisoft is canceling a game. You want to guess which one it is? It's a game that's currently active.
It's one of those games I don't play that they've put out. Is it the roller derby one?
There you go.
Oh, geez, there's a surprise.
That game is only like 2 months old. Not the only games they canceled, though.
I feel like I have to keep doing it's the SpongeBob meme. How many times do we have to tell you, old man? Like, how many times do I have to say, stop fucking chasing fucking shit? Like, you know what I mean?
Well, here
it's worked once.
Let's continue the story. So they actually preemptively canceled 2 games that were in development. Splinter Cell and Ghost Recon VR, as well as 2 unannounced titles.
They're running out of money.
Yep. They're looking to get bought, son.
And they're such a toxic little environment that they're not going to be bought. Like,
I mean, Activision got bought, so anything's possible.
Yeah, but Activision has Call of Duty. As much as we like to pretend that Assassin's Creed is on the same level, it is not Call of Duty. It does not get people outside of video games as much as Call of Duty does. People will buy Call of Duty, and that'll be the only game for all year.
That's true.
And Ubisoft's done a terrible job of maintaining that with anything. My dad was so addicted to playing that Ghost Recon's the first one, the Wildlands.
Yeah.
He was addicted to playing that multiplayer, but he's like, yeah, and they just gave up on it, and that sucked. And he said the sequel sucked. He didn't want to play the sequel. They went back to the original game to play multiplayer, and so I realized my dad's not the best example of anything, but he plays maybe 3 games a year. He's going to play whatever Dark Souls game is out for a majority of the year, whether it be Neo even, but those are the types. He played Neo 2, probably has the most time out of that than anybody, and then he'll play another game, and Ghost Recon was his return to, but he's they just don't give a shit. And so you can't maintain any player base, especially when you're trying to divide them over a bunch of fucking shit. Just be good at one thing. I don't get it. They have how many Tom Clancy's going on, And then they're and we're gonna have sorry. It irritates the shit out of me because it's they do this all the time. They go back and they try to make another multiplayer game and it doesn't work and nobody wants that in Assassin's Creed, and then they're oh, and here's the Tom Clancy game, but we're actually going to have 2 in the same year, and as we're balancing the one that we're maintaining from last year, and then we have For Honor that we keep going, sure, and then we're going to do Skull and Bones, which I think legally they have to because they took grant money for it, is what everybody else is saying. Whether or not that's true, I don't know, but they... from the sounds of it, those countries' laws say that you have to produce something.
Is it too early to cancel Skull and Bones?
No, I mean, they can't cancel it. They literally cannot. They have to produce
Well, I mean, once they put
anything.
it out, they could cancel it like the day after, right?
Oh, but I assume it'll be like a month.
Speaking of Ubisoft, we'll continue on that train. They have delayed the Avatar game to 2023 or 2024.
When's Avatar coming out?
The movie this year, I think.
Great timing, everybody.
That's why the game was supposed to be out this year. But apparently it's pretty rough, so they had to delay it.
Here, I don't think I've ever seen a mess this bad. This whole company.
It's pretty bad right now. The only thing they got going is that Mario game that's coming out next month, I think.
And let's be honest, their portion of that game isn't the part that everybody buys it for. As much as I like the Rabbids, and I will defend the Rabbids. I think the Rabbids are great. That's not what most people are going to be buying that game for.
No.
It's Mario.
All right. Servers are shutting down for some hot games, including Killzone Mercenary, Killzone Shadowfall, and the most important game, I forgot this game existed until I saw this news story, Riggs Mechanized Combat.
Bye. Yeah. Another company that doesn't get it, I guess. That they just kept trying really hard and not doing a good job of maintaining a player base.
Yeah. I honestly did not remember that game until I saw that news story. I totally forgot about it.
The fact that I have to almost point at like Mean Girls and be like, you know that line? Don't stop trying to make fetch happen. Yeah, that's it's funny because it's true. There's tryhards that need to get stuff to stick. And it's like, you shouldn't be trying to make your thing stick. It's not a good product. Stop trying to be like, I'm going to be the next big thing, or I can penetrate the market this %. Stop that. No, you can't. You're not that good. Nobody's that good. You know, how many Minecraft clones were there? And
so many.
How many do you remember?
None.
Exactly. Like, if you want to say Terraria kind of takes off from that, sure, Terraria did well for itself. But for the most part, you don't remember them because they weren't good.
Remember when the Ark developers made one of those?
Remember when Ark developers finished a video game? Because I don't. Oof, sick burn.
I always forget that there is a Minecraft-style Ark game.
A PixArk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spin Master is making PlayStation toys. So you can get your hot Nathan Drake.
I was gonna say, here's your favorite characters, kids. Kratos. Kratos with a light up Apollo head in his hands.
Yeah. Sure.
It reminds me of when they were trying to sell Spawn toys to kids.
Hey, I bought them.
Before they just were like, alright, no, these are for adults.
Oh, excuse me.
Do you know what figures they're making?
I have no clue. I just know they've partnered to make toys in the PlayStation line. That's all I know.
I mean, toys are expensive nowadays anyways, so...
Yeah,
probably
especially in
not
the
for kids.
Jacko pose, you know.
Nathan Drake in the Jacko.
Sweet. I'm waiting for Parappa the Rapper.
You gotta get that.
in the Jacko
You gotta find
pose.
that pirate booty. Boom, boom, boom.
It's right there in your face.
Also, is Jacko the name of the character that was doing that pose?
Yes.
Okay.
Jacko is the character from Guilty Gear.
Yes, one of those Arc System.
One of those Arc System crazy fighters. Yeah.
Okay. I was just like, I don't know if that was the name of the attack or the character.
No, it's the character. It's a girl with a pumpkin mask. So.
Oh, okay.
Jacko,
Well, at least
get
the name makes sense now.
Yeah.
Got it.
Sony has also said they will no longer be doing Twitter one-on-one support for anything. So, yeah.
I know we talked about this, but like I had to deal with their previous support. And their previous support system was garbage.
Yeah.
So glad we're going back to that. I'm probably I've probably told this story, and I apologize if I have, but maybe I haven't, and in that case, I just need to share to explain my pain with that fucking company. So one, I need my console, my PS4, back to my base system so I could remote play on my Vita. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know what happened, but can I get this to be made my home console again or whatever? And the guy's like, read me the number off the back of your console. I'm like, okay, great, but that's not going to help me. And it did help me, but he wasn't explaining to me, like, no, I need that so I can reset that and all this stuff. He just refused to explain, like, the reasons why he needed information. I handed it over, but it was just like, hey, like, I've tried all this stuff. I'm literally coming to you as a last resort. Let me know. That one wasn't too bad, but that was the last time I had to deal with their private or like on their website. The one that pissed me off was Ratchet and Clank Into the Nexus came with a download code. It was $30 on disc. Remember when first party games could be less than $70?
What?
And so I bought that game when it came out, but I didn't open it for a while. And I don't know where the receipt went, but I finally opened it. I'm like, I'm going to take the code and use it finally. Because it had Quest for Booty, the download code. So you're paying basically $15 for Into the Nexus and $15 for Quest for Booty. I'm like, okay, cool. I'll have all the Ratchet and Clank games on PS3 now. So I open it up, and the code card is there, but it's white. There's nothing in the spot where the code should be. So I like go and I'm like, hey, what's the case with this on Insomniac? And Insomniac's like, dude, we have, like, they send me an email back and they're like, we actually don't deal with that. You have to talk to Sony. I'm sorry, but like, we don't print the codes. Like, we just make the game essentially. And I'm like, okay. At least he's like, look, I can't help you. Here's who you go to. So I go to Sony and I'm like, look, I didn't get a code with the game. And they're like, we need a receipt. I'm like, I don't have a receipt. My issue is like, I know this is a known issue. I can send you a picture of the code. I can send you a picture with the game. I can send you a picture of me with the game. I can send you proof that I own the disc and I have a piece of paper that's blank. I can scan it for you and then take a photo of me holding it to show you that there's no fucking code printed on it. And that's your error, not mine. And the response was, well, we need a receipt. And I'm like, so what's stopping me from buying a new copy and then showing you that receipt and then just returning that game? Well, that wouldn't be allowed. How would you know? I said the only reason why you'd know is because I told you that that's a thing I could do. And I said, and so what happens to everybody that gets this game as a gift for Christmas that doesn't come with a code? You're just going to tell them to eat it? Fuck it and fuck them? Like, you didn't print the code. That's not my problem. That's your problem. You're making it my problem by saying I can't trust you as a customer. How irritating. So I lucked out, and I actually knew someone that worked at the EB Games that I bought it from, and I'm like, hey, look, I told them about it, kind of, and she's just like, bring it back. She's like, you got the code card still? I'll reseal it. We'll sell it as new. You're like, you haven't popped the disc in, right? I'm like, no, there's no scratches. She takes a look over. It's brand fucking new still, because I literally opened it like 2 days or 3 days before, and she brings it in. We opened up like 4 or 5 copies of that game till I got one with a code.
Nice.
She's like, we're just gonna let people know that to get it, they're gonna have to keep the receipt and contact Sony. But like, how fucking absurd! Like, ugh, I just couldn't believe it. And the response was literally just, it's $15, and you're just saying like, well, I know you spent $30 on the game, but like, and 15 of that was for the new game, and 15 for was like the download code. But we're not gonna let you. You're gonna have to pay another $15 for that download if you want it. And just how fucking irritating that was. So I scratched a code off from Nintendo, and it was irritating not hearing from them. But like on one of their cards, it wasn't the peel off; it was the scratch. And I scratched, and it literally just tore the code apart. And I tried figuring it out, and I couldn't figure it out. And I sent them the receipt and all that stuff. And I'm like, hey, look, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do here. Here's all the information I have. And you know, they wanted the serial code for the console I was trying to put it on, which was a 3DS. So I sent that with it. And they just put the money in my account. You know, like, it was like, Sony had the worst fucking, I don't even remember, I think with that code problem too, I was sent to I was like told to call. By the way, this was all over call. This was not emails. They were calling. I was calling them, which was fucking terrible too. Because eventually I was just like, just put me with the person above you. Because I'm tired. I can't. I know you're just gonna put me up above again because this problem hasn't been solved the last 2 fucking times I've called. Third time was when I gave up. The first call though that I made was to their online entertainment area because that's where somebody told me to go. They said I was going to have to do it over a phone call instead of email or whatever, and they sent me there, and it's like, the guy's like, dude, I'm like the guy that if you're like playing like EverQuest or something, you call. He's like, I don't have any part to do with that. I'm like, oh, alright, my bad. He's like, no, man. I'm like, they just told me to call you, and he's like, why would they tell you to call me? Like, oh, yeah, so I have bad experiences, so I can't wait for them to leave Twitter and be shitty again. Because you can't even now air it out in public, right? Because as much as I hate to say it, sometimes you have to fucking air stuff out in public to get anything fucking done. Ugh. Terrible.
Alright. So yeah, look forward to that in the future of Sony support. Star Wars Hunters has been delayed to 2023.
I don't even know what that game is.
That's a mobile game that's also coming to Switch.
Just as soon as it's a mobile game. All right, we're done.
John Romero is making a new first-person shooter.
Cool.
I'll play it. No Man's Sky latest update is called Endurance, and it's kind of focused around a freighter base building.
I can't believe that game is what it is now.
Yeah.
And I'm not even saying that as like this like shitty kind of like fuck you state. I'm just like, good for them. They could have fucking packed that up and been like, well, that didn't go as well as we thought it was, and then leave.
No, it's still going strong. Multiverses, so you can pretty much unlock everything in the game, but there are some items you can't unlock, and of course somebody on the internet did the math.
Money.
Tell you how much it would cost to unlock everything that cannot be unlocked in the game. Do you know how much that
No,
is?
I do not.
$255.
That's about probably what I spent on fucking that bad Soul Calibur 5 game, so... Not that it makes it okay.
Square Enix is making Final Fantasy NFTs because of course they are. And the first one
Whatever, fuck that company.
Cloud.
You know, at this point, fuck that company.
You think?
There's clearly a division that's like, we want to put out old games, and they get the go ahead, and then there's clearly the division that's like, we want to sell shit. Alright.
Just put Final Fantasy VII on it, it'll sell.
Yeah.
Platinum Games has restructured their business by hiring a former Nintendo executive. So maybe they're finally turning themselves around.
I doubt it. How are they going to turn themselves around?
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. I without major restructuring, ain't happening.
Mario Strikers got its first update and added Daisy and Shy Guy.
Goddamn have to add Daisy at this point because people were fucking pissed that she wasn't in there originally.
I mean, yeah, they were horny.
Yep.
Speaking of Nintendo, new Nintendo Switch Online games for Super Nintendo and Nintendo. We've got Fighter's History, which is a weird pull. Kirby's Avalanche. And boy, I don't know what this last game is. Diva Story 6 Imperial of Nersartia.
Yeah, I've never even heard of that.
Yeah. Somebody reached into the bottom of the KB Toys barrel.
By the way, can somebody tell me whether or not... I'm going to take a wild guess to say no, but does Waluigi still do the crotch chop in Mario Strikers game?
I don't know.
Because that was the best part, is him doing like the fucking... Suck my dick motion.
I mean, it's Wario.
No, it was Waluigi.
Sorry, Waluigi. He can do what he wants.
Yeah.
The next, so I should have done this with the Ubisoft news, but according to Jeff Grubb, the Immortals next game, Immortals Phoenix Rising, is a spin-off featuring Hawaiian Polynesian gods with some pretty much kind of the same ideas and a new visual style. That's going to be the next Immortals game. That's way off. We're talking 24, 25.
Well, I'll hold my breath until I find out whether or not Ubisoft exists.
Yeah, truly. Discord is coming to Xbox, and we're not just talking about integration. We're talking about chat.
Yay.
I mean, it's cool.
No, I mean, what am I going to say? Like, it's cool. I love it. It's great. I can play video games and do this podcast.
There you go.
It is just one of those weird things where it's like, that's such a weird... My brain still can't fully compute how that makes sense.
Well,
but
Last of Us remake screens and videos leaked online, and boy, people were mad.
I don't...
Because they didn't overhaul the gameplay, even though they said they overhauled the gameplay.
Fucking... Guys, at the end of the day, you're still the bad person in the game. That's the whole fucking point, is just to fucking be like, see, violence is never the answer.
This also
make a fucking violent video game, you asshole.
This also sparked the entire internet back on the $70 game discourse, which... Dude, you know what? Let me just say, The Last of Us remake, people are like, why is it $70? I'm like, because it will sell. Sony knows.
$70. I don't know, because they want $70 because people will buy it because
Absolutely
every time people say, I'm not buying this, they buy it.
Yeah, they're going to buy it. But millions of people are going to buy The Last of Us remake for $70. So why would Sony not charge $70 for it? Like, why would?
Be clear, I'm not saying I'm happy with that reality that we live in, but
no, I'm not buying
here we
it.
are.
Me personally, I'm not buying it, but plenty of people will, so that's why it's $70. All right, you ready for the most important news story of the week?
Sure.
The Cowabunga collection got a date.
Oh, yeah.
August 30th.
I still haven't played Shredder's Revenge.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
You're broken inside.
Well, we didn't need that to know. This is not I'm not breaking down any barriers by saying I'm broken inside. No, yeah, we know. It was very obvious from the beginning that I was broken inside, Ken.
If I'm gonna be honest with you, if it didn't sound so stupid, Cowabunga Collection might be my favorite game of the year. I ain't even played it yet. I don't need to.
Shredder's Revenge?
Shredder's Revenge and Cowabunga Collection 1 and 2.
Got it.
No, I love all those games.
Didn't understand that statement for a second.
I love all those games on the collection. I'm also excited for the Atari one that has the Jaguar games on it.
I'm excited for the Atari one, but not because I like any of the games, just because like the team that does it is a team that actually gives a shit about,
it's the same team as doing Cowabunga.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, it's Digital Eclipse. Mike Micah.
Oh, yeah, Digital Eclipse.
Yeah.
Digital Eclipse does good work. That's the people that should be put on more of these projects. So.
I think they're getting there because
Wonder Boy thing, just to fucking bring up more saltiness about that fucking company. Assholes. Anyways.
That's it. That's all the news I got.
Hey, I'm glad it's got a date.
Dude, I'm stoked. I cannot.
Here's the reality of what will happen. I'll start it up. I'll start it up. I will play Hyperstone Heist to completion, and then I'll be like, all right, I'll come back to this, and I'll never go back to it.
You at least need to boot up the original NES game just so you can hear.
No, I really don't.
Yeah, you do. You really do.
Everybody, just want you to know that Wombat just drove by a Shawnee's. Shoney's? How do I pronounce that? Shoney's? I don't fucking know. I'm not there. I'm just reading it.
He drove past the Shoney's, and I'm like, what? Bring me food. I need some Shoney's. Oh, shit.
I'm assuming it's just like a fast food place?
No, it's like a family sit-down restaurant.
Oh, okay. So a Denny's.
Essentially, yeah, it's essentially like a Denny's.
Oh, is it really? Okay.
Yeah.
I was just kidding. I was like, what's the worst thing I could think
So
of?
the hook to Shoney's when I was a kid was the Shoney Bear. Let's see if
All
that's...
right, now hold on. I'll look it up on my own.
Yeah. The Shoney Bear...
If I find a picture of it.
Oh, there's pictures everywhere of it.
Oh, then you need that. There it is, Ken.
Yeah.
There's our picture for the podcast.
Just a big image of the
Shoney
Shoney
Bear.
I
Wow,
have that. You see the stuffed one with the suspenders? I have that.
Yep.
It's in a box in the garage.
Vintage Shoney's Bear advertisement plush stuffed.
Yep. I don't know
People
if this
are
is
making this on Etsy.
I don't know if this is true or not, but I think on Twitter, was it Drew that said Scott Steiner owns all of Shoney's now?
I think he said he owned quite a bit. Let's
Um,
find out.
Yeah, you gotta look that up.
Shoney's Wikipedia.
God, these bears one of them selling for $119. What's wrong with you people? Nobody's gonna pay $119 for a Shoney bear.
You'd be surprised how many people would pay.
I mean, people are dumb. I forget what I was looking for on eBay the other day, and I saw the price of it. Oh, Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes, because I couldn't find my copy. I was like, maybe I'll just replace it. Then I saw the price of it, I was like, no, I'm not replacing that.
Well, how much was it?
$189?
Yep, that sounds about right. I paid $14 or $15 for mine.
Yeah, I paid like $15 at a flea market for my copy that I rebought myself. And I swore it was in the garage. I found everything, dude. So I like tore my garage apart looking for this stupid disc. And I found my Metal Gear Solid Japanese import. I found my Metal Gear Solid Integral Japanese import.
Wow.
I found all of my old Japanese PlayStation and Dreamcast games, of which there are about 50 of each. I found all of my import GameCube games. I only had 4. But I could not find my Twin Snakes disc.
So I was going through the basement, and I don't know if I was on the podcast at this point, but I had to buy and replace a bunch of like PS2 games. Like Katamari Damacy, I'm like, well, I wouldn't have gotten rid of that. Drakengard, which I still had the disc for, but I was lacking the box. And I was like, where the fuck is it? Disaster Report, like the first game for some reason was gone. It was like a really weird selection. And as I'm cleaning up, there's a tote I've never touched. I do not know how those games ended up there, but I opened it up and there's all these games I fucking replaced, and I went, go fuck yourself.
I mean,
I paid way more the second time. Like, my copy of Drakengard, the second one, was $40, and the first one I paid $15 for.
Yeah, I tell you, man.
And now I have 2 copies of it. It's like, fuck off.
I'm glad that I did not replace anything. Like, I found all my old consoles digging through the garage. I found my Jaguar, found 2 Saturns. One's modded, one's not.
Well,
I found my 3DO.
I had all my other games, and I know I sold off a bunch of games at one point in a box. I'm like, did I, in like just the biggest dumbass move, sell it? And I'm like, I must have sold it because I couldn't find them anywhere. It's been years. And they finally find this one container. I opened up, and as soon as I saw it, I just dropped the fucking lid right on top and walked away. I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
I tell you, the crown jewel in my collection is my Sega CDX. There was
Mine's a Sega Saturn in the in-store display.
like
Big metal arcade cabinet with a light-up Sega logo on top.
that Sega CDX. I remember when that thing came out. That thing ran for like a month.
Oh, fuck, they're terrible.
Oh, it's a piece of crap, but nobody has one.
No, you're correct.
And I have one. I actually got it from this import store I used to buy from.
I was hoping you were going to say I bought it. Bought it from Gambus.
No. I knew the guy. We used to run ads on the site for his store because I bought a lot of stuff there, and we kind of collaborated. And I bought it from him, and with it he sent me the original Welcome to the Next Level discs, the demo discs.
Wow, yep.
And Soul Feast and the Sherlock Holmes game, like all of the original stuff that came in the original Sega CD he included when I bought the CDX. And back then, I think I paid him $135 for the CDX with all that stuff.
I think you also pronounced it wrong. It's welcome me to
Yes.
tot
Yes.
key next
Yeah, I know.
level.
That 90s marketing
terrible.
was terrible. You are not ready. Oh, man. Takes me back. I need to find my dinosaur disc so I can play with the T-Rex on the PS1.
Just, the marketing should have just been a swift kick to the nuts and been like, buy Sega, bitch! And
Sega! Oh, man. Takes me back.
Would've
They
been
told you
more
not to put
accurate.
They told you not to put the 32X in the CDX. I totally did. It works
Wait, what?
fine.
I guess it's power draw.
Yeah, they said it didn't work. It totally worked. It worked fine.
Yeah, it required some sort of fiddling, didn't it, though?
I think you had to take like the metal plate or something off in order to get it to fit, and also you had to have 3 of those big fat plugs because you needed one for the 32X.
Or you need that anyways.
Yeah, and then one for the Sega CD, and it's just. Ugh.
32X CD games exist.
I know, I have some.
And that is the prime example of not knowing a market.
Yeah.
Who the right fuck thought that was a good idea?
Dude, when I was a kid, I totally wanted them. I was like, I need my Night Trap in 32X.
I mean, I get it, but like, let me rephrase this then. Who the fuck thought that was a good idea when, like, parents are the ones that are going to have to be buying these? You know?
I mean, it didn't do well at all.
Oh, correct.
Yeah. But you know what? I wanted it. I was a big Sega CD kid. Like, that thing was my holy grail. I love that thing. I had the old
Fatty. I
Fatty.
don't know why, but okay.
I had the old Fatty. The one that was the undercarriage.
Yeah, I mean the one that sits on the Model 1, right?
Yep. The pop-out tray with the access and the power on the front. And I had the side loader one, and then I had the CDX one. So I had all
Side
three.
loaders for the Model
Genesis
2.
2. But you could put that little plastic
Yeah, I
thing.
needed like a plastic thing on the side that widened it so the Model 1 could sit on top.
Dude,
of it.
putting that thing together was like Legos. It's crazy. But I did it. I remember doing it. God. Memories of those times. Just to play fucking Sewer Shark and Eternal Champions and...
You know, the sad part is, if for once I can't, like, Eternal Champions is the only thing I'd save in a flyer for CD.
That Batman Returns game is okay.
Man, it's okay. You know what I mean, though? Like,
the Spider-Man game is good.
No, I mean, look, there's, out of the stuff you just mentioned was the only thing I'd save, because you were just talking about, like, Night Trap.
Oh, no, Night Trap.
Sewer Shark, no. And then you were like, Eternal Champions. I'm like, oh, well, this is the only time I'd say Eternal Champions is the better. It had more kills, didn't it, the CD version?
Oh, dude, the Sega CD version is like a different game. There's like 10 extra characters. The Cinekills are
still
in
not
it.
great, but it's like, okay, well, I'll forgive it because there's the amount of, it's a quantity now over quality.
The hidden characters were great too. You had Crispy the chicken, you had the snake, you had the dog, you had the senator.
The senator.
The senator's stage fatality had you impaling him on like the Washington Monument.
Great.
Dude, I remember all of this stuff. When I booted it up last week, I did the easiest stage kill is on the minecart, and you just kill them to the right of the stage, and then they get impaled by the log, which, by the way, that transition when you hit it, they stand there wobbly for a solid 15 seconds before the tree trunk hits them. It's so awkward.
Because of the CD having to load?
No, it's moving. Like, it's just, like...
Oh,
man.
I've played this game like a whole 2 times, and I'm like, I don't like this. It's not great. It's not Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat feels better.
No, Mortal Kombat is a much better game.
Listen, I don't think you've ever said it's better than Mortal Kombat. I'm just saying, like, that's the reason why I dropped out of it. I was like, man, why would I play this?
Oh,
but I also think I played the Genesis version. I've looked at all the kill sequences, and I'm like, that's fun to watch the kill sequences. I'm not going to play this fucking...
There's the Washington Monument.
That's That's the screenshot from all the
Senate kills.
kills, right?
Yeah, that's
I'm pretty
so,
sure
like,
that's
the
on
shark.
Laser Time. I'm pretty sure that's Laser Time that uploaded them too.
Yeah, like there's a video showing you all of the kills, including the Senate kills, stage kills. I forget what the fatalities are called, but me and a buddy of mine, when I got this game, literally sat on the weekends and would kill each other in different spots in the stage to try to find them manually.
Yep, that's the Laser Time Eternal Champion Sega CD, all overkills and sudden deaths.
Yep. Like me and a buddy of mine literally sat there and did every single... Well, like we would look for pieces in the stage to see if we could figure out where they were. By the way, this is the character select screen. So many more characters than the original. So, including Death and the Eternal Champion himself.
I mean, I don't hate the concept of this coming back as a good fighting game. But man, those are some 90s ass designs.
Oh, absolutely. You got to
Lots
admit
of
that
shades.
the premise of the game was good, to where like people from different time periods were fighting for the immortality from the Eternal Champion. It's a good story.
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
Like I said, I wouldn't hate. I would love a Mortal Kombat versus Eternal Champion.
Dude, the owl's name is Hooters.
Yeah, great. That's a really.
He plays a monkey.
Yeah, I could do without the animal stuff. To be honest with you.
They all had their own fatalities, too.
Yeah, that's fucking great. I don't give a shit.
Anyway.
They're the least interesting portion of that whole character select.
We got an email in the 11th hour. This comes from Jeremy. He says, "Hey guys, hope you guys are doing well. After finishing Elden Ring and putting in almost 140 hours, I was in a slump for quite a while. Thank goodness for Terraria." We just talked about Terraria. Been playing that a bunch with the kids, having a blast, then jumped into Ace Combat 7 after buying it on release day. Beat that, and now I'm going to Far Cry 6. Feels good to be back in the saddle. On another note, I'm really jazzed about God of War Ragnarok, but that $70 price tag kind of stings, especially after playing one of the best games I've ever played in Elden Ring for $60. I'm probably going to hold off and wait for a sale. What about you guys? It seems like Sony is leading the charge with the $70 thing. Who is picking it up day one? As always, thank you for the show. Are you buying God of War on day one?
I will.
But you own PS4, so...
Yeah, I just don't think I'll be buying it right away because I never finished the first game. Like, I got really close to the end, and I just went, I'll step aside for now, and I'll come back to it. You should go
play that game. Finish it.
Listen, it's never been a... the problem is, it's been so long now, it's gonna... You know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna start from the beginning.
You should finish it, though.
I'm not denying that fact. Not once am I denying that.
Well, I mean, you should finish it before the sequel comes out.
But that's the thing. I'm in no rush to play the sequel. So, like, what'll happen is I'm going to
buy it and sit on it till it's on sale.
No, I'm probably gonna wait. I'm gonna wait probably until there's a sale, or I'm done the first game, and if it's still not on sale, I buy it then. I was gonna wait for a sale for Horizon, but then I just traded something in for it. So
I am totally buying it day one. I know $70 sucks, but God of War 2018 was my game of the year.
Are you reviewing it?
I mean, if they send me a code, I won't buy it.
Right.
If they don't, I will totally buy it. Like, that happened last year where we didn't get Madden on release date, and I just bought it. And then they sent a code like 2 weeks later, and I remember I think I gave it to somebody to review. But there are certain games that I will buy if I don't get a code for sure.
Yeah, I'm just not, like, in any rush to see. I'm more interested in science fiction than fantasy. So, I wanted to play Horizon before the year ended. But I don't feel the same about God of War.
I still remember God of War 2018. I finished that game right before I went on a business trip for work. And my review, I had to schedule it in my hotel room. Make sure it went off, because I was in a different time zone, so I had to make sure it went off at the right time when it launched. Anyway, That's all I got for this week.
Also, I'm just gonna say it. I as much as I don't like price increases because it makes it worse in Canada, as long as you think you get your money's worth, it's not as painful of a process. My biggest issue is with the price increase is that some games are going to feel worse because you've spent more money on it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't have an issue. I'm trying to think of a good example right now. Because I don't have a lot on my wall because I kind of moved my video games into another room, boxes. But like, take God of War for example. If you spend $20 on it, 2018 I should say. If you spend $20 on it, you definitely get your money's worth. Do you feel like you didn't get your money's worth at $60 though? No. And you know that the next game is likely going to be bigger and it's going to add more. And so I don't think there's any problem with going, or you're not going to have a problem once you spend that money. Like at the time when you spend the money, it might hurt a little bit more, but then you're going to play the game and be like, this is worth every penny. It's harder when you feel like it's not worthwhile, regardless of price. Like a $20 game that you play and you're like, this isn't worth $20 is more painful than a $60 game or $70 game that you think is worth every dollar. And it's just, that's the problem with, I mean, I get it. Some of it's time based, right? Like a $70 game that's only 3 hours long is going to be harder to swallow. But like, you rather have like, it's hard. It's a hard proposition. That's the reason why the problem is like with like Assassin's Creed. You spend $70 on an Assassin's Creed game. How much of that time are you fully enjoying? And how much of the time you're just marking shit off on a map, right? And so there are these things that we think about, like, and this problem reason why like a lot of games are going open world is because they think that it's a easier way to make it seem like it's worth the $70. But that's not necessarily correct. Like a better experience, and as much as I know people weren't happy necessarily with The Last of Us 2, I don't think anything in that game, I don't think it's worth the money in general, because I don't like Naughty Dog's games. But I don't think like they've put that price tag on it and you don't get your money's worth from it, right? Like in terms of game. And so it's like, you know, and it's not really open world. There's some open sections to it and stuff. But like, I think that like you'd be disappointed with the story, but do you feel like you've been ripped off? It's a personal opinion. Like, there's a lot to take in to like really understanding why game prices maybe need to increase and don't need to increase. Like, I get it. Budgets are high. But at the same time, like, are you making the sales in volume, or are you making the sales like by just increasing the price and selling less? And then what does the customer expect out of that $70? Because like a $60 game going back a generation, like Witcher was $60, and fuck, I don't know, No Man's Sky was $60 when it came out, right? No Man's Sky wasn't worth it when it came out. Now, if you bought it for $60 and it's not that price, I think you'd be fine with it. It's a weird state to be in. So I don't try to think about video games in price as much until, and this is just, I guess, inside baseball for my reviews, like until I'm kind of done playing a game and I'm writing my review. I ask Ken, because sometimes I can't access the American pricing, like, how much is it? And Ken will be like, it's this much. So like with Ground Divers, I was like, how much is it? I was kind of expecting 30. He goes, it's 15. I'm like, oh, that's a better price, and I feel more confident giving it a higher score because it's a lower price. It's a lower investment, and I think you get a better return. You know, if it was 30, that's a hard one to sell. It's the reason why, like with Phobia, at $30, I can overlook certain things and be like, yeah, you're getting a really good game here, for $30. If it was 40, I'd still probably be able the same. But if it was 60, it's like, well, at $60, you're competing with the thing that you're inspired by. Like, there's so much to take in with price values and stuff. So if you liked God of War 1, and this is just my suggestion as I ramble through my thought process live, apparently. If you liked God of War 1, and you want to play the sequel, if you're excited about the story, if you like the gameplay, and you like the exploration in it, I can't foresee them dropping that content, if not even expanding upon it. Like, I'm sure you will get $10 more worth of game out of it, especially if you're already invested, right? So if you're somebody that hopped onto God of War later too, when it was $20, like I think you're going to be still super excited because you're not getting it for the $20 you spent on the first game, but you're getting a continuation of the first game. So there's a lot. I realize that this kind of rambly and it's hard to think about, but that's what it's a hard thing to talk about. Like, what is a game worth monetarily? Because there's free games out there that people play to death and don't spend a dime on. Fortnite, for example. So, I would recommend thinking about what you expect out of a game first and foremost, and then thinking if that's going to be worth $70 based on your expectations, and hopefully it won't let you down.
All right. Well, that's all I've got for this week. If you want to follow us on Twitter, it's at N4G Podcast. If you want to follow us, I'm at ZTGD, Anthony's at Complacent Robot. You can also email us, podcasts at ZTGD.com. Phoenix Down should be back this week. With
Drew's becoming less pasty as he spends time on the beach. I expect Drew to be in full clothing at the beach.
I know, right?
Sure, maybe shorts, but shirt. So he'll only have a tan on his forearms, his legs, and maybe his cheeks. It would be the chin or whatever if he doesn't have a beard right now.
Yeah.
He's the person that spreads way too much sunscreen on his face, so he has the white stripes like he's playing baseball or something.
Yeah, Phoenix Down. They'll be continuing Yakuza 5 when they get back. But no, that's all I got for this week. So if nothing else, we'll get out of here. Peace.
Alrighty, and it goes something like this.
Epic fail. Welcome to the N4G Podcast.
It's me, Mario.
Zero tolerance.
This is going to be a very interesting episode.
Gather time.
Greetings, programs. I got lost trying to find my way to the secret underground N4G Radio lair.
The Wombat. And
I'm always so being angry.
Killer Wolverine. Play games, not consoles. No fanboys allowed.
And then I killed the dragon. 8.0.